Union stalwart Bill Kelty has tonight issued a reality check to Labor and the union movement, saying it's too easy to blame the Gillard government's poor polling on the media and the opposition. The wake-up call from the former ACTU secretary came as the Prime Minister tried to steer media attention towards the payments her government's making to families and away from the damaging distractions of the Craig Thomson affair. Political correspondent Tom Ingleton reports from Canberra.
The Prime Minister's frustrated with the negative news cycle about her government and wants to talk about something other than Craig Thomson.
Today is the day that money will first start to flow through to families resulting from carbon pricing.
You only get compensation if you have been injured. The government loves to talk about the compensation, but they refuse to talk about the injury.
Both leaders were just a few kilometres apart in southeast Melbourne today.
I'm delighted to be here at the Basin at this community house.
My second visit to Aston in a month.
Julia Gillard was spruiking family payments at a local childcare centre.
Little handshake there.
Tony Abbott donned the fluoro vest for another of his numerous factory visits.
Oh dear.
The Prime Minister's targeted extra government payments at lower income households, particularly those with children. Tony Abbott says he's coming after Labor's base where they work.
I want to reassure the Prime Minister that I will be in the manufacturing heartland of our country, day in, day out, week in, week out, between now and the next election.
It's a vulnerable target, and not just because of fears about the carbon tax. The union movement's still dealing with the fallout from the Health Services Union scandal.
The responsibility to protect our members rests with all of us.
The new ACTU boss has asked former Federal Court Judge Rod Madwick to lead a review of corporate governance, as union leaders lined up at today's conference to air their feelings about Fair Work Australia's report into the Health Services Union.
And I have to say, as I read that, I actually felt sick. I felt really sickened.
A union official who rorts members' money is worse than any deadbeat boss.
The union leader who helped install Julia Gillard as Prime Minister says the movement needs to put its skills at hunting down dodgy bosses to work on itself.
And if we have a dodgy trade union official who rips off those workers, we need to hunt them down too. Hunt them down too to make sure they pay back what they took from the hard-working men and women of the Health Services Union.
Long-serving ACTU Secretary Bill Kelty was honoured with a dinner at the Congress tonight, and the old union warrior didn't hold back from criticising the Gillard government. The co-architect of most of the crucial reforms of the Hawke-Keating era remembered the difficult economic conditions of the time.
Real pressures on living standards, high unemployment, but we never ever lost a sense of hope and trust that governments and unions would see it out and there would be a better future. Today we have better economic conditions, but that hope and that trust has retreated. I've got to be frank, it's too easy to blame the media, too easier to blame the playthings of politics. And there's no purpose blaming the opposition for doing what, after all, you would expect them to do, and that's to beat you.
In a speech the Labor faithful would have found in parts discouraging and in other parts inspiring, Mr Kelty urged the movement to rally around the Prime Minister, reminding them Paul Keating won an unlikely election victory in 1993. Tom Ingleton, Late Line.